So in this video, we're going to talk about BMO Harris and how you can get up to a $50,000 business credit card as well as a business line of credit without any documentation. We're going to talk about the data points as far as who they pull from. I'm also going to give you information on what they look for to approve you and more. So watch the entire video from start to finish. Make sure that you subscribe if you want to see more videos about business credit and business funding. Let's get into it. So BMO Harris is available all across the United States. It's not going to be specific to a certain region. It's going to be available all across the United States. Now, they may not have a branch in your state, but you still can sign up for their checking account and get credit cards, lines of credit from them, even if they don't have a branch location in your specific state. So first, we're going to start off with the lines of credit. Also, I want to quickly point out that you do need to have good credit. Sometimes people get confused because of all of the information all over social media, Instagram, about how you can allegedly go into a bank and get a line of credit or a credit card with a 400 credit score. That is not true 99% of the time. So with banks like BMO Harris, you will need to have good credit. You want to have a bare minimum 680 credit score. Try to aim higher for a 700 plus. If you don't have a 80 bare minimum, you can add a primary trade line or even an authorized user account just to boost your credit score 20 points. Like if you have a 660 or a 650, you can try adding a authorized user account to boost that credit score up so that you can get approved for 0% interest credit cards from banks and credit unions and lines of credit. Now, there are other types of funding, like alternative funding, such as Revenued, Fair Figure, Capital on Tap, that don't require such a high credit score, but some of those will require that you pay it back within 60 days, within 30 days. But to get 0% interest credit cards, you have to have good credit so that you get the best result. And also make sure that you have some type of comparable credit, meaning that you have some type of credit cards reporting on your credit reports for at least 2 years, a minimum of a few thousand. For the best results, it needs to be 5,000+. You need to have at least one credit card that's 2 years old or more with a $5,000 limit or more to get 3 and 4 and 5 times the amount of what you have on your personal credit on the business side. So in order to get 50,000 on a business credit card, you need to have comparable credit on the personal side. So BMO Harris does offer multiple different types of business funding and lending products for small businesses. But we're going to talk about their lines of credit because, of course, this is going to be revolving and you're not going to only have it for a certain amount of time and then that's it. So this is something that you can draw from and then pay it back and then draw from it again. Now, with their lines of credit and their other business lending products besides the credit cards, you're going to have to actually do an application in a document form. So they have a way for you to download their applications. This is the loan and line of credit application. So what you do is you fill this PDF document out, you download it and save it to your computer, and then you send it over to underwriting at this email address right here. And you must have all the required documents. So they do require documents if you get or you request a line of credit over $50,000. So they have a checklist, a business lending checklist. This is a checklist for the loans, lines of credit, as well as the credit card. Now, I would recommend that you actually open up a business checking account with BMO Harris and start to build a relationship. I actually recommend that you do that with all of the banks that you plan on getting a line of credit from or a credit card from, because it increases your chances of getting higher funding amounts because of the relationship. And also making sure that you add cash to those checking accounts and let that cash sit in those checking accounts for a little bit before you start applying. So when you're applying for a line of credit, you're going to need to have, of course, the application signed by all the guarantors, which is all of the business owners that are connected related to the business. If you are new to the bank, they're asking that you provide 2 most recent months of deposit statements. That's why I said you need to go ahead and open up a business checking account and add money to it. Also, they may ask you for copies of your articles of organization or incorporation, if you have a partnership, your agreements, or your operating agreement, and if you have a DBA, your DBA name registration. But most of the time, they don't ask for this, especially if you're getting a business credit card. Now, if you're getting a line of credit with a higher amount, they may ask you for this and some other documents that I'm going to talk to you about in just a second. Also, as a quick note, if you don't have much credit history, if you have good credit but not much credit history, you can also provide collateral to help you get approved as well. So copies of insurance policies for all assets being pledged as collateral for a loan, equipment/vehicle collateral description would be the copy of equipment vehicle invoice. So if you get a loan for a piece of equipment or an invoice, which they also offer equipment financing as well as the SBA loans, real estate lending, flex loans, and business loans, business term loans. And how you would find this checklist is if you go to the application and click here where it says, click here to download the business loan/line of credit/credit card application checklist. And this is for non-agricultural requests. And that's how you pull up this particular checklist. Now, if you request a loan, they do have an SBA kit as well. But if you are new to the bank and you're requesting over $50,000 or it's equal to $100,000 that you're requesting, this is where you're going to have to provide documentation. They'll ask for a business tax return or a accountant prepared financial statement, a personal tax return for the same year used to complete this application, or if it's at the beginning of the year, of course, you would provide the tax return for the previous year. Also, the IRS Form 4506, and that's for you to provide the actual transcripts of the IRS tax filing. So that's what they use for permission to look at your tax transcripts. If you request over $100,000, then they're going to ask for 2 years of both business and personal tax returns, 2 months of recent deposit statements. So that's pretty much it for the business lines of credit. I don't want to go through this whole thing because we're pretty much talking about the business lines of credit and the credit cards. So to recap, they're most likely not going to ask for any documentation for the business credit cards unless they can't verify some information. Then they may ask you for your LLC documents, your articles of incorporation, if you have a partnership, your partnership agreement, operating agreement, and they also may ask you to verify your identity by uploading your driver's license. But if you are requesting a line of credit, for sure, if it's going to be over $50,000, they're going to request for you to provide 1 year of tax returns for both business and personal. So keep your requests under $50,000 for no documents required. Now, going to the business credit cards, they do have 0% APR introductory rate business credit cards. That is going to be the business platinum credit card. And so that is going to be up to 18 months from the date of opening your account. That's if you qualify. If not, your interest rate could be between 16 and 25, which is actually pretty low compared to a lot of national banks. So you can do the business credit application online versus doing the line of credit application. You have to, again, send it over to underwriting to this email. Also, with the business credit cards, you will have to verify your identity with a selfie, but that's pretty much it. Again, they pull from TransUnion. So if you get approved for this particular business credit card or a line of credit from BMO Harris, make sure that you comment down below in the comment section. Also, like this video. Make sure that you subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And also, don't forget, if you would like to get more information on business credit, personal credit, business grants, lender information, such as the data points like I showed you or talked about in this video, how to get approved for business credit, lender compliance, and so much more, check out this community. Our community includes all those things and more. Link will be down in the description box below, and I'll see you in the next video.